Okay, the first step is to build your Space Marine. Don't forget to use a file and take away. Come on, focus. Take away all those flash lines, mold lines, and to use a pin vise on that bolt gun, so we can use some nice washes. It's not going to look weird with the mold lines. Because it's a Dark Angel, I gave him the little like scroll holder, some extra purity seals. Okay, after you have primed your Dark Angel black, some people, you can use the Dark Angel's green spray paint, but I just use regular black. And you can use a large brush or a base coat brush and go ahead and paint your Dark Angel's green. I'm using the old Dark Angel's green color. You can use the new, I don't know the name to it, the new Dark Angel's green. Just use the base coat over the whole model. Use a little bit of water. Make sure it's nice thin coats, so you don't clog up details. Okay, there we go. You can see it's really dark because it's going over the black primer, and that's just fine. We're going to let this dry for a minute and come back to it when it's finished. Okay, now that the Dark Angel is dry, we are going to apply a black wash over the armor. None oil. It's right here. It's a shade. It's going to go over all the green armor. Apply it evenly. Don't let it pool up. Okay, so lightly add that shade on and just make sure it doesn't pool up. Let's get over the entire model. Okay, there we go. Let the figure dry completely before moving on. Okay. Using the box now so my camera can focus a little better, so I don't have to use both hands. So now I'm going to go back and use the original Dark Angel's green that we first used. We're going to do the big areas, starting with highlights. So we're going to do the big flat area in the shoulder pads, some of the main areas where most of a light source is going to be coming down and hitting them. So a lot on the upper, a little bit on the legs down here. Going to do the just kind of the main area. I'm not going to get in the cracks. Just the big flat areas, and then the rim, shoulder pad rim. I'm using a standard brush. I'm using the side of the bristles so we don't get any in the cracks and ruin that wash that we did. So it's kind of as an indicator where we can highlight later. You're not going to really see this this green, that much. It's almost not even that noticeable. And later you're going to be looking closer, looking for these big areas. So we could do a lighter highlight to really make that armor pop. And just take your time, go slowly. Not everything. You don't have to do it all, because we definitely want that shade that we put down to really make the armor pop. So just a little bit. So now that that's done, you can see it's a little bit more greener. You can see a little more depth with the wash that we did. So now, before we move on to the next highlight, I'm going to go ahead and fill in all the black spaces, like the little rubber things between the, all the joints. Anywhere we're going to put silver, so the exhaust on the backpack. Clean up the bolter with black. Let's see. And maybe a little bit in the eye sockets. Okay, so I'm going to use a bed black. Go ahead and do all the fine points. I'm going to use a detail brush. Just take your time. Remember to water down your black. It can get kind of chunky. So let's go ahead and get started. If you mess up, you can always go back. You just use some Dark Angels green. If you get some in the armor, go ahead and go over it. That's the best thing. You can always cover up your mistakes. Okay, next we're going to do the silvers. Using chainmail, it's the medium quality brightness silver that Gimzer Shops put out. I don't know what it's called now because they changed all the names. We're going to do the backpacks, the little exhausts, and around the rim there. And do the bolt gun, maybe the little pipes and stuff inside the backpack up top. So definitely like using the sides of the detail brushes, the bristles. Can really get in there. Okay. Now that the silver is complete, we're going to go back and do a black wash over that silver. So the wash is dry, and it's time to do the first highlight for the dark green armor. So we're going to be using the old Snot green paint. Alright, to finish up the bolter, we're going to use Mephiston Red and Evil Sunz Scarlet. So for the shoulder pad, we're going to draw 2 triangles. So I do one on the left side and one on the right side. So I draw 3 dots as straight as I can. Same thing over here with enough room. Connect the dots and get a triangle. It's okay. If we have any problems, we just go over with some green, straighten it out, clean it up. From here, you kind of go in the center, go up a little bit, just straight across. Same thing, center, go down a little bit, straight across, fill it in. Now that the Mephiston Red is done, we can move on to the Evil Sunz Scarlet. And just do your highlights. Then, so for the arrow, you just want to do the top here, bring it down, across. Alright, so I also forgot to mention to do the purity seals. And I did the scroll case in red, so that kind of brings more red to the color here. And now I'm going to do the eagle on the chest and the purity seals. We're going to do the paper. So what I'm going to use is Baneblade Brown, Deneb Stone, and Seraphim Sepia. So with that eagle, just take your time, go real slow. Alright, so I also mentioned we're going to do the knee pad. We're going to do the little checkered cross. So it's pretty simple. First, you just split it down the middle. and then our cross. And you just fill in one of the spaces. And you can just do a small highlight around the edges there on each little box. Okay, now I'm going to do the sepia wash. Almost done. So now we've got to do the shoulder pad. We're going to do the Dark Angel symbol. So first, I'm going to draw a line for the sword, and then the dots that are going to be the blade. So we know we kind of have the angle for it, and then the I guess the hilt, the little grippy parts, and the little diamond on top. You just find the center. I'm just going to do a line up the center. There. Okay. And then for the blade, I'm going to put about not even a fourth up the line, two dots, and I'm going to connect the dots like a little arrow, and then I'm going to connect that with almost to the top of the blade. I'm just going to run that straight up, and I fill that in. So near the top, almost at the top, I'm going to do a little cross, and then a little end cap for the sword. There you go. Boom. You got yourself a sword. How easy was that? Now we're going to do the wings, which is a half circle. So you just come out a ways from the sword. Same thing on the other side. Right. Just like that. It's just a half circle from that point. Now you don't want it connecting to the sword, and what happens is that there's another half circle here, and another half circle right there. Boom. Connect that here. Connect that there. It's almost there. And then so what we're going to do is we're going to put a little box, another little box, another little box, and fill the rest in. You're going to go back and then use Dark Angel's green and just kind of take out the lines to the boxes. There you go. There's half the wing. So I'm just going to take some white paint and highlight these areas. We're done. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a comment in the video so if you'd like to see more, and what second founding chapter or what Chaos Warband you'd like to do, and I'll paint them up. And the next one is probably going to be White Scars, and subscribe, and you'll thank you very much.